What's up, guys? It's your boy Al, Big Al, coming back to you to talk about a couple. I'm gonna drop probably 5 videos today. 5. To start off the topic, I got some good questions. I don't think I can cover them all in one video. The first one was, I'm looking into getting into trucking. How can I obtain a CDL without getting a loan or signing to a big company? That's a great question. How to get a CDL without signing to a company? First of all, if you're a veteran, don't just jump off the hinges and go use your GI Bill. If you've been out of the military for a while, but I'm gonna touch on that basis later. First, if you're in the military thinking about coming in, the best way to do it is through troops to transportation. And what I mean by doing that is, like, right when you get out. It's okay to do it while you're still in, but they pay for troops to transportation. It's not really a big hit on the GI Bill. If you wait till you get out versus staying in, you'll pick up some extra cash off the BAH. The military will pay you to study to get your CDL, so you'll get, I think, they'll pay you the same BAH as a E5 while you're studying to get your CDL. I don't know the exact amount. I think it's $1,200 or $1,500 or something like that. That's my advice to a veteran, to do it after you get out. If you do try to get your CDL, get it as quick as possible while you're in the military. The reason I say that is because that transition from military life to civilian life, it takes a toll on them. You're not gonna get those last 2 paychecks for those last 2 months, so you got to kind of survive and eat. So if you got the leave, the terminal leave or the vacay or whatever you got stashed up, go ahead and take that leave. And on those 60 to 90, 120, however many days you got of leave, go ahead and get your CDL in the process. It takes, to get a CDL is like 4 weeks. Some places 16 weeks. The reason I took the 16-week course is because I learned dump, side dump, Class A CDL, doubles, triples, tanker, bus, even fire truck, and cement mixer. Those were the things we learned in our course. But that course also cost me about $12,000 off of my GI Bill. But yeah, if you get that job, and then you could hustle or try to get on some of the local stuff. I know a lot of companies around bases, if you go get a CDL license, they would count that school as a year of experience if you go to the right credited school, and then they will give you that credit for that 1 year. They'll give you 1 year credit and they'll train you. A lot of the LTL companies are doing that. A lot of I think Schneider's doing a couple of things like that, where you'll be on the truck with a trainer every night doing LTL free dedicated accounts. You do need permission from your commander to do these things. However, if you take the illegitimate route, you are kind of responsible for the risk and rewards out of that, because, you know, truck driving, you drive long mileage. LTL freight, you can kind of get away with it, but if you pull in a dedicated account, definitely get your commander's approval. Next is, I want to talk about the GI Bill. Well, I kind of already hit it a little bit. You want to maintain this little, you want to not maintain, you want to keep as much as possible of your GI Bill and use as little before you get your CDL license if you use it. That's why I also say wait till you get out, because troops to transportation, I know they kind of hit that GI Bill kind of tight, and it's like paperwork, like getting in the Army. They do it fast and they get you out. Next thing you know, you already paid for this class. The only thing is, you don't have to pay for your licensing. You have to pay to take the permit test in some states, but I know if you go through troops of transportation, you get that commander's inquiry or the commander's license, where you just transfers right over into a CDL, so you don't have to pay. There's not a licensing fee for that. Um, if you a veteran and you don't have the GI Bill and you got honorable or other than honorable discharge, not a dishonorable, there's some other ways you can work it. You can use the REAP program. The REAP program basically replaced the Montgomery GI Bill. Everybody that's in the military now or have the Montgomery GI Bill know what it is, so I don't need to touch on that. The REAP program basically does the same thing. Except it's like an active account where you can actually go and watch your funds go here or go there. They also got the VEAP program. VEAP is VEAP. That's another program you can use. The next one you can use is the co-op training. The co-op training is a big one. It can help you get a trade also if you don't want to get into trucking. And the last one is the apprenticeship program. The apprenticeship program is basically you look in the state that you're in and you find the college, you click on the college and you see what programs they have available. Some have CDLs classes, some don't, so it kind of fluctuates depending on, mostly the technical schools have the CDL, so definitely look that up, and the VA will pay for that. If you're not a veteran, and you still trying to figure out a way, there's no excuses, okay? There are a lot of ways to get a CDL. You can, some places you could probably do like a scholarship. You can do essays and stuff like that to get scholarship money. I actually know a driver at my previous company. If he wants me to put his name out there and stuff like that, he can drop it in and I'll let him know. He actually went to his church and he started a scholarship fund to get his CDL license, and he won the essay contest and he got the scholarship, and that's how he paid for his CDL school. Your local resources, WorkSource or whatever unemployment agency you have in the region, they have programs where they can help you get a trade or anything like that. So there shouldn't be no excuses. They might not even pay for the whole thing, but it's definitely a way if you want to go to school route. I know a lot of states are requiring people to go to school. And then you can get a Pell Grant or something like that along those natures. Look into your grants. I know Alabama does it, Washington does it, and a couple other states do it, where you can apply to get a Pell Grant to get a trade, and it's free of charge as long as you don't. They have stipulations, but you just go through and see if you can meet the requirements, and then go from there. Fill out your paperwork, boom, bam, bam, you're in the trucking industry. The only thing I'm gonna say about the whole trucking thing is it shouldn't be no excuses to it. The money part, the financial part, shouldn't be the excuse. Okay, you don't need to sign a contract to go work for somebody. Listen to me when I tell you this. The worst thing you could do in the trucking industry is sign a contract to go get your CDL through somebody. You may not like that company, you might not get paid enough. Just don't do it. It's not a good idea. Your first year, don't sign a contract for nobody. Please, just please don't sign a contract, because you'll be ruining your life. I have yet to see a person who signed a contract and got paid enough to even sustain their life. I've seen some pretty bad horror cases where people were getting 29.5 cents a mile, 25 cents a mile, 15 cents a mile. I didn't believe it until I actually saw these settlements, and I couldn't believe it. But don't sign a contract. If you have to, if that's your just bottom line, last resort, like you're out of prison from murdering somebody, or you got a felony or whatever, and you can't get your CDL that way, then I would say, okay, go ahead and, you got to suck it up for that year. But you got to do what you got to do. And that's basically ways you can go get your CDL. And just don't give up. That's the only thing I can tell you. don't give up. If you can't fluctuate with the schedule, I know a lot of schools right now. They got 2 classes, maybe 3 classes. I know the campus that I went to, they had a day class and a night class. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to jump into this, because it's a very lucrative business if you do it right. Okay, now don't jump out here thinking you're gonna be driving 2018 379 Peterbilt's chromed out with the dual stacks with direct TV in the back and all the nooks and bells and whistles. Don't expect that. Expect the learning curve. You have to expect, it's a new job, just like you're going into a factory. When you're going to work into a factory, you don't start at the top unless you already got the experience and the knowledge. Your first year is just the experience part. That's what you're going to eat. You need to use that to get to the next spot. Don't focus on the equipment. Don't worry about what you're driving or how fast you're driving, because you will gradually make the steps to get where you need to be. If you focus on equipment and pay, you're gonna lose out on a lot of things that you could probably better yourself at. Now, a good starting pay, well, I'll talk about that in the next video when I talk about picking a good company. But keep in mind that you want to decide at this point in your life, is this what you want to do? You need to talk to your other half and make sure y'all both on the same page. If y'all not on the same page, you can't come out here. If home is not right, you can't come out here. Okay, you need to have everything, all your I's dotted, all your T's crossed, all your little babies kiss goodnight, everything before you leave. Because every time you leave and come back in, your children are going to be doing something completely different. Every time you leave and come back, there's going to be something different with your wife. Your wife is going to be accustomed to handling the household, so you got to kind of adjust to that. You can't just come back in and, all right, I'm the man of the house, so this is going to be done my way. You have to reintegrate yourself to your household every time you come home. The trust factor. If you and your wife or significant other or whoever doesn't trust you, don't come out here. It's just going to be a bunch of problems. And the main thing I can tell you from experience is the worst thing that you can do is get into an argument with your significant other on the phone while you're driving down the road. After that, you're completely lost. Make sure home is straight. If home is good and everybody's okay with you, if there's a shadow of a doubt with your wife or significant other or anyone in your household, it's your job to ease that. It's your job. It's not their job to put their mind at ease. It's your job to do that. I'm not gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you raw. I'm not gonna give it to you soft. I'm not that person. So if you have a question or a comment or concern about this video, please feel free to hit me up. If you want any more knowledge, drop a DM to me on Instagram at Flamingo Team 6. Don't ask. Don't ask. I done had like 12 questions already. Don't ask. It's a military thing. I don't want to talk about it. Well, I can't really talk about it. And Snapchat Long334. And yeah, there shouldn't be no excuses for you getting out here on the road, people. So, you know, with that being said, good luck to you. Stay safe, stay straight, and I salute to you. Peace out.